He was quick with a gun, he was known for his charm. He was a legend in the Wild West. His name, Billy the Kid born Henry McCarty. I later adopted the name William H. Bonney. I lived a short life, just 21 years. But those years were filled with adventure and violence. Billy the Kid became a notorious outlaw. He was wanted for murder. He was linked to several killings, some say as many as 21. His reputation grew with each daring escape. He became a symbol of the Wild West, a symbol of lawlessness and rebellion. Billy the Kid newspapers wrote about my exploits. People were fascinated. Some saw me as a cold-blooded killer, others, a folk hero. He was a product of his time, a time when the American West was wild, a time when justice was often served at the end of a gun. Billy the Kid's story is a tragedy, a young man caught in a cycle of violence. He was a symbol of a bygone era, an era of cowboys and outlaws. His legend continues to fascinate us today. Enter Sheriff Pat Garrett, a former buffalo hunter, a man of the law, tasked with bringing Billy the Kid to justice. Sheriff Pat Garrett: I was a respected figure, known for my determination, and I would need it. The hunt for Billy the Kid was dangerous. The kid had a network of friends. They would help him evade capture. Garrett had to be smart. He had to be patient. The chase became a game of cat and mouse. Sheriff Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid knew each other. We had been friends. But our paths diverged, one on the side of the law, the other an outlaw. This made the pursuit personal. It was more than just duty for me. It was a matter of honor. Garrett was relentless in his pursuit. He tracked Billy the Kid across the New Mexico territory. He followed every lead. He questioned every associate. He was closing in. The final showdown was near. The summer of 1881. Tensions were high. Billy the Kid was on the run. He was hiding out in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. He thought he was safe. He was wrong. Sheriff Pat Garrett: I was hot on his trail. I had received a tip. Billy the Kid was staying at the home of Pete Maxwell. Maxwell was a friend of the Kid's. Garrett formed a posse. They rode into Fort Sumner on the night of July 14th. The night was hot. The air was thick with anticipation. Sheriff Pat Garrett. Garrett and his men surrounded Maxwell's house. We waited patiently. The minutes felt like hours. Every creak, every rustle of leaves heightened the tension. I was about to confront my old friend. Inside the house, Billy the Kid was unaware of the danger. He was relaxed. He felt secure in familiar territory. He went to bed early that night. He had no idea it would be his last.
In the dead of night, I entered Maxwell's house. I made my way to his bedroom, where he lay asleep. I questioned him about the kid's whereabouts. Maxwell confirmed he was there.
Unbeknownst to Garrett, Billy the Kid was awake, in another room. He heard voices, but didn't recognize them. Grabbing his revolver, he moved silently in the darkness.
Who is it?
Garrett, recognizing the voice instantly, drew his own gun. 2 shots rang out. Billy the Kid fell to the floor, dead. Shot in the chest, he was just 21 years old. The silence that followed was deafening. The hunt was over. The legend of Billy the Kid was no more. Garrett had fulfilled his duty, but at a cost. He had killed a man he once called friend. The weight of that action would stay with him forever. The death of Billy the Kid sent shockwaves through the West. The news traveled fast. The outlaw was dead, killed by Pat Garrett. Justice had been served. But the story didn't end there.
Billy the Kid's legend grew even stronger after his death. He became a mythical figure, his life and death romanticized in books, movies, and songs. He was portrayed as both villain and hero. Some argue he was a cold-blooded killer, others a victim of circumstance. Whatever the truth, his story continues to captivate us. He remains an enduring symbol of the Wild West, a reminder of a time when law and order were fragile.
Pat Garrett too became a legend. Known for his grit and determination, he carried the burden of Billy the Kid's death. He went on to serve as a lawman for many years, but he would forever be linked to the Kid. The story of Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett is a complex one. It is a story of friendship and betrayal, of law and lawlessness. It is a story that continues to fascinate us over a century later. We invite you to delve deeper into this captivating tale. Visit the links below to learn more about the lives of these legendary figures. Explore the history of the American West. Discover the truth behind the myths.
The Wild West was a time of great change and upheaval. It was a time when legends were made. The story of Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett is just one of many that continue to capture our imaginations. What other stories from the past will you uncover?